I thought that the really at the epicenter, which was now offshore the Miyagi Prefecture, and it's really huge, something magnitude of 8.8, which is really the largest recorded earthquake in Japan.
Japan has experienced a similar kind of earthquake, similar extent of earthquake. Back in 1995, I was in Kobe City when the earthquake struck, and I remember the most of the concern was liquidation that had occurred after the earthquake. Do you have any concern of that happening with this earthquake?
Well, I think in Sendai area, which is in the north of Japan, it's really flat, and we have this liquefaction when you have a very low land and high water ground. And I saw some of the news, the record shot over this Sendai city, and I see the many liquefaction. So there is a Shinkansen bullet train running. So I think there will be quite a large, extensive damage. And but really, my concern is really this effect of tsunami. And they used to be they have a prediction of the maximum height is 5 meters, but they said over 7 meters of tsunami being recorded. So I'm really concerned about this, the damage by tsunami. Yeah.
We're watching live picture coming from Chiba City, and Chihara City, I should say, and the oil refineries are burning like this. Now, by just looking at this picture, Professor, how big a damage do you think this whole earthquake has caused?
Well, one of the really problem of this earthquake is the magnitude point 8.8 means really equivalent to Chile earthquake, which occurred in the last year, 2010, February 27th. And in that case, the fault ruptured over 800-kilometer distance. And we in Japan, it's a very small island. And if you really have a same length of the rupture, really coming from the north and come to really near Tokyo. And this Ichihara case is really I think they said the second largest aftershock is a 7.4, which is equivalent to the Great Hanshin, this 1995 Kobe earthquake. So this first earthquake is the largest recorded earthquake, the magnitude, but even the second aftershock is equivalent or slightly over this Kobe earthquake. So I think this extent of shaking and the damage caused by earthquake is really widespread. So we need lots of time to find out really extent of damage and the degree of damage.
For our international viewers, maybe it would be more familiar to them if we compare with the recent Chile earthquake. I guess it was February 27th of 2010.
Right. That's right.
And also the huge tsunami occurred. Now, compare with that one. How big is this one?
Well, I think the magnitude 8.8 is exactly the same. So my feeling is that the extent of the shaking is about the same. But Chile is much less densely populated. But in Japan, we have this really huge concentration of the population, especially south end. We have Tokyo. More than 10,000 people living, and we're having a problem of the people going back. I just heard a few minutes ago they started to operate this subway, but really the problem of how to bring the people back to the home is really one of the problem. But, yeah.
Right. Then aftershocks. We are all worried about aftershocks. We're even feeling some earth aftershock even now, and here at NHK headquarters now, floor is shaking. Yeah, there you go. There is a picture of one of our bureaus during the earthquake. Now, these aftershocks, how concerned are you?
Well, I think having said that, the magnitude of the earthquake the same as Chile, so it really, involves that long length of that, fault rupture. So when there is some part is broken, but still there is a few places still unbroken. So I think that it will take a more long time to really, decrease that aftershock, and I think we have to watch out this aftershock. But another thing is that it's already huge damage is caused, and if any sort of tsunami occurs by aftershocks, we have no defense to protect. So any, the aftershock, we have to watch out any tsunami coming, but we should really escape from that shoreline. Yeah.
And this is live picture coming from central Tokyo. Tokyo. Oh, this is not live. I'm sorry. This is not live. This is a picture coming. We've taken from central Tokyo. And you can see many people are stranded in train stations here. Now, as you have said, Professor, you can just tell the seriousness of this earthquake just by knowing that Tokyo itself was affected.
That's right.
Transportation has been disrupted.
I think really one of the problems is that how to give precise, exact information to that the resident, and the really information is very important. But I experienced also this. No, my phone is working. Only the phone is working with a text message. So as long as we know how to use this, the mobile phone, not really calling directly, but really use the text voice. But I think I find that the more sort of public the release of the information is needed, and how to let them calm down. Actually, they are very calm, and I'm very happy to see it. No panic or anything. But really, how to direct them safely back home is an area next question. Yes.
Now let's talk about the tsunami. Of course, we've been seeing many times this picture coming from Sendai, the tsunami, the picture of tsunami, compared with the one we saw in Indian Ocean, Sumatra, and also in Chile. Do you detect any significance in this one? Any characteristic, any different factor in this tsunami?
I think the height of the tsunami is, like they said, 7 meters. And prediction before this tsunami earthquake, they had
Officials say they are considering offering extra bus services if train operations remain shut down. In large parts of Japan, the power supply has been disrupted. More than 4 million buildings in Tokyo and surrounding areas lost power soon after the quake hit, and many places remain in the dark. Another 4.5 million homes and buildings in the northeastern part of the country have also been hit by a power failure. Phone lines and cell phone signals have been disrupted over wide areas. Hundreds of thousands of people in Tokyo have been left stranded after train and subway services were suspended. And we want to report on the embassy. Now, embassies in Japan. The embassies of China and South Korea and the representative office of Taiwan in Japan have established telephone helplines exclusively for nationals after Friday's major earthquake. The Chinese embassy helpline numbers for Chinese who are injured or distressed are as follows: 090-7835-2685, 090-4830-5150, and also 080-1138-9673. Now, the South Korean embassy advises South Koreans in need of help to call one of the following numbers: 0334544616, 0334545026, 09016935773, or 09045446602. The helpline numbers for Taiwan's representative office in Japan are 080-6552-4764 and also 080-6557-8796. Prefectural police say at least 63 people have been confirmed dead so far. The U.S. Geological Survey says this earthquake is the 7th with a magnitude of 8.8 or above to have occurred in the world since 1900. The most recent one occurred in Chile in February 2010. Its magnitude of 8.8 was equivalent to the one that hit northeastern Japan today. The largest recorded earthquake hit Chile in 1960 with a magnitude of 9.5, killing over 1,600 people. It triggered a gigantic tsunami across the Pacific Ocean that claimed 142 lives in Japan. The second largest quake occurred in Alaska in 1964 with a magnitude of 9.2. Third in terms of magnitude was the 9.1 quake off Sumatra, Indonesia in 2004. The huge tsunami that followed brought devastation across the Indian Ocean, with a total death toll reaching 220,000. The country's most powerful earthquake on record, with a magnitude of 8.8, struck northeastern Japan on Friday, as we have been reporting, generating massive tsunami waves along broad areas of the Pacific coast. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake struck at 2:46 p.m. off the coast of Miyagi Prefecture. It originated an estimated 24 kilometers below the surface. This was followed by major aftershocks, one of which was of magnitude 7.4. It originated off the coast of Ibaraki Prefecture, south of the first quake. A series of tsunami continued to wash ashore. An over 7.3-meter high tsunami hit a port in Fukushima Prefecture. Tsunamis were observed in many other places, including Tokyo. Major tsunami alerts remain in place for many other parts of the country, with the highest waves possibly reaching over 10 meters. Meteorological officials warn that tsunamis several times higher than forecast could hit repeatedly in some places. Now again, as we have been reporting, prefectural police say at least 63 people have been confirmed dead so far. In the 3 northeastern prefectures, police say at least 51 people are dead. In Fukushima, a local fire department says a welfare facility collapsed, killing 5 people and leaving several more missing. In Tokyo and 3 neighboring prefectures, 12 people are reported to have died. Local police also report that many people are dead or missing in the Pacific coastal areas of northeastern Japan. In some districts, it is reported that most houses have been swept away. Extensive damage has been reported across Japan after the earthquakes. In Miyagi Prefecture in the north of Japan, buildings and cars have been left submerged in cities hit by repeated tsunamis. In Sendai City, a tsunami reached as far as 10 kilometers inland. Miyagi Prefectural Police have received a report from a shipbuilder in Ishinomaki City that a ship with about 100 people on board has been swept away. More than 20,000 households have been ordered to evacuate in the prefecture. In Kasenuma City, several hundred people have been evacuated to a local school. 1/3 of the school's gym is submerged, and people are staying on the 3rd floor of the school building. Police say an unknown number of people are missing in many cities, where tsunami waves up to 7 meters tall swept through low-lying coastal areas. Sendai Airport is also submerged. People are stranded on the rooftops of buildings, and runways are closed. The airport is located 1 kilometer from the coast. In Kamaishi Iwate Prefecture, an NHK live camera captured a port flooded by seawater. Cars and trucks were floating amid the debris. Houses are also reportedly floating in the city. Police say in Ofunato, more than 300 houses have been destroyed by a tsunami. A whole community has been swept away. An NHK helicopter has captured the images of an oil refinery in Chiba Prefecture near Tokyo on fire. A gas leak reportedly triggered an explosion. Black smoke can be seen billowing from the refinery. The government has declared that Fukushima #1 nuclear power plant of Tokyo Electric Power Company is facing an emergency situation. The emergency diesel generators used to cool down the nuclear reactors are all inoperable in the plant. The government has also received an emergency notice from Tokyo Electric Power Company that in the Fukushima #2 nuclear power plant, an emergency cooling system has been activated. The Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency says no radiation leakage has been reported from both nuclear power plants. Fire broke out in a building of a thermal plant in Minami Soma City, Fukushima Prefecture. 1 person is missing, and dozens of people are trapped in the building. But fire engines cannot approach the building, as there is reportedly an oil leak at the site. And the country's most powerful earthquake on record, we also interviewed local people after the quake.
もう死ぬかと思いました。本当にすっごかったです。はい。感じ。どうでした？いや、なんか山手線のホーム行ったんですけど、こんな大きい揺れ初めてだったんですごい怖かったです。
なんかパンクしたみたいな感じの揺れでですね、コンクリートが落ちてきてという感じですね。コンクリートどこですか？ボンネットちょっとへこんでると思うんですけど。
And again, the country's most powerful earthquake on record with a magnitude of 8.8 struck north